Here's your First Warn Weather forecast first. Sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
It's a cool fall-like day across the state line today. Our temperatures have only made their way into the mid-60s so far. We now sit at 65 degrees in Rockford, 65 also in Rochelle, 63 Poplar Grove, 64 Woodstock, DeKalb, Harvard, and in Janesville. Our next cold front sitting up to our north and our northwest. That could bring us our next chance for not only a few spotty showers, some stronger winds, but also a round of some wildfire smoke overnight tonight. Temperature-wise, with the added cloud cover, will only drop back down to the low 50s. I'll let you know how long the impacts from that cold front could stick around into tomorrow and preview a cooler weekend. That's coming up in the most trusted forecast a little later.
An arrest in a shooting at a downtown Rockford bar. Police say the suspect targeted the business.
Plus, damage assessment is underway in Boone County. How residents can get support following last month's heavy storms.
And an old building's repurposed to fill a need in the community. The newest sports center now open in Loves Park.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Edwards. We thank you for being here.
Tonight at 5, 2 people face charges following a shooting outside District Bar and Grill.
The owner called it a drive-by shooting that busted windows out late Tuesday night. Now we know Avery Jones, who had been identified as a suspect, turned himself into police this morning. He now faces a long list of charges, including aggravated discharge of a firearm and unlawful use of a weapon by a felon. Nicole Jones was also charged with obstructing police. Police say Avery Jones fired those multiple rounds into the bar after he had been kicked out earlier. There were no injuries reported, thankfully. In addition to several windows, 2 parked cars and items inside the bar were also damaged. Avery Jones is in the Winnebago County Jail tonight.
2 people are critically injured following a crash on I-39. Shortly before 10:30 this morning, officials say a car was heading south near Baxter Road when the driver lost control and went off the road into a ditch. 2 people were taken to a nearby hospital with serious injuries. The cause of the crash is still under investigation.
Tonight, a Dixon man is in jail after police say he attacked a family member with a knife. Dixon Dunbar faces multiple charges, including aggravated domestic battery. Dixon police officers were called to North Galena Avenue yesterday morning. Police say Dunbar had been armed with a large knife and was found chasing that family member. A bystander, they say, stepped in and disarmed him. That person sustained minor injuries. Dunbar was arrested and taken to the Lee County Jail.
Rockford police released numbers for traffic offenses over the Labor Day weekend. The department teamed up with other law enforcement agencies across the state for the Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. The effort is paid for through the Illinois Department of Transportation with federal highway safety funds. Over Labor Day weekend, RPD issued 4 DUI citations and 6 distracted driving tickets. 39 drivers got speeding citations, and officers made 7 criminal arrests. For all other offenses, police are reporting nearly 150 citations. Today, emergency agencies and assessment teams were in Belvidere to verify storm damage.
Eyewitnesses reported Blake Dietz tagged along with one team, and Blake, they're working to get a disaster declaration.
Yeah, it's a joint effort between the Boone County Emergency Management Agency as well as the state's agency. The hope is to get a disaster declaration, which could then provide some support to Belvidere residents. Now, to get that declaration, the emergency teams must present enough evidence to the state, which then applies to the federal government. If a disaster is declared, federal funds would become available to homeowners to help with repairs that aren't covered by insurance. While the teams are going door to door to speak with residents, the county's Emergency Management Agency Assistant Director says you do not need to speak with them to qualify.
We don't have to speak with them. Even if we see it, we still mark it down. It doesn't mean that they don't qualify if something were to come out. We're just gathering what we can see. We did a couple weeks back put out a QR code that did damage assessment, and a lot of people did do that too. So we have that information also. We're still going by those properties. So yeah, if we didn't see you, it doesn't mean you don't qualify for anything.
Now, other counties included in this assessment include McHenry, Kane, Will, and Cook counties. Wendell.
Blake, thank you. Governor Pritzker today criticizing the Trump administration's education policies when it comes to immigration crackdown. The governor joined educators during an event in Berwyn today. He highlighted the Illinois Trust Act, which prevents local law enforcement from participating in federal immigration matters, including on or near school grounds. The governor also encouraged school districts to provide information with students and families on their legal rights.
A new indoor sports center officially opens in Loves Park. That ribbon cutting for the Elite Sports Center. We first told you about this last month. The 10,000 square foot facility was opened by two state line natives. They say several sporting organizations have already signed on to practice at the facility. The building was set to be demolished before the duo acquired the space and decided to repurpose it.
We came across it. I have a construction company, Armored Exteriors. My partner has Ambassador Homes. With his skills and my skills, the development skills and what we do, we kind of teamed up and took this facility and made it what it is today. So we definitely completely gutted this building, and it's night and day.
They're building an expansion to the facility that will be nearly double the size. That's expected to be completed by next summer.
You weren't the only one that didn't win the $1 billion lottery. No one matched all 6 numbers drawn for the Powerball, so now that jackpot is even bigger. The jackpot swelled to $1.7 million, $700 million for the next drawing, which is Saturday night. That makes it now the 3rd highest jackpot in the game's history. Now, there was a lucky $1 million winner who purchased a ticket in Aurora. That's a suburb of Chicago. The summer staple along the Rock River comes to an end tonight. Prairie Street Brewing is hosting the last Dinner on the Dock event of the season. Rockford-based alt-rock and grunge band Flannel Days are performing until 9. Food and locally brewed craft beers are being served until the event ends at 10. Admission is free for all ages and seating is first come, first serve. Next Thursday, the bar will host Docktoberfest.
Governor Pritzker once again talking about the increased presence of ice in the state.
When we return, the latest in the ongoing saga between Illinois and the Trump administration.
And coming up tonight at 6, the State Line Apple Orchard's been making sweet treats for generations. We'll show you how Edwards makes its apple cider donuts in tonight's Made in the State Line.
Certainly feeling like fall. I'll let you know how many more of those days that we have in store before we see a warm-up coming up in just a few minutes.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Sports Director Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Governor J.B. Pritzker believes the possibility of increased ice presence is aimed at causing what he describes as mayhem on the ground.
Julian Cruz reports more about the governor and Chicago's mayor.
Part of their kind of nefarious plan is begin with ice, cause mayhem on the ground, and by doing that, say that there's a need for military troops on the ground to protect ice.
Governor J.B. Pritzker says despite the looming threat, he's not telling people to stay home this weekend as Chicagoans begin Mexican independence celebrations. But he says be aware of your surroundings.
Don't play into their hand, and if you have the opportunity, please protest, pull out your phone, video everything that they're doing.
Pritzker says Illinois will swiftly fight this battle in the courts.
I'm not intimidated, and no one should be.
Like the governor, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson urging the public to protest or interact with ICE agents peacefully.
Why would we allow someone who is auditioning to become a dictator of a democracy to intimidate the soul of America, the city of Chicago? We should celebrate. I'm going to celebrate.
It is still very cool here in the state line, and it will be tonight.
When we come back, Jordan lets us know what to expect as we approach the weekend. That's coming up next in his full forecast.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
It's been a cool fall-like day across the state line today as our temperatures have really struggled to make it above the mid-60s for many of us. We still sit at 65 degrees in Rockford as well as in Rochelle, 63 in Poplar Grove, 64 Woodstock, DeKalb, Harvard, Janesville, and Monroe. A bit warmer to the south and west, 67 down in Sterling. Our weather watcher Terry out in Genoa reporting 66 degrees for his air temperature, 47 the dew point, southwesterly wind gusting near 20 miles per hour. Gene in DeKalb reporting a temperature of 63 degrees, 12 mile per hour wind, only 49% humidity. Kevin out in Lena also 63 degrees, 43 the dew point, a northerly wind at about 11 miles per hour. It has been a little bit on the breezy side, and that paired with the temperature in the 60s has given today somewhat of a chill, especially early this morning when some temperatures were in the low 40s. We've warmed since then, partly because of the sunshine that we have with our Mercy Health SkyTrack camera out in Freeport, but it is showing a little bit of that breeze. Winds have been pushing near 20 miles per hour for the sustained winds in a few spots earlier today, and they may pick up here into the evening as a cold front approaches the area. That's sitting well up to our north and to our northwest, producing some light rain showers across parts of Minnesota. That will gradually pull our direction as we head through the overnight hours tonight, bringing us the potential for some of those strong winds, scattered showers, and some wildfire smoke as well. As far as the scattered showers go, those will likely be between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. and our wind gusts could push 30 or even 35 miles per hour. Let's start with the wildfire smoke here into the night. It's a pretty narrow window for that potential for any smoke as this cold front has drawn some of that smoke near the surface and a lot of it aloft as well. So we may see the potential for some hazy skies right around and just after midnight, but as that cold front pushes through, most of that smoke will be transported east of the area, helping to clear us out as we head into tomorrow. As far as our scattered showers go, those will arrive generally between 11 p.m. and 3 a.m. for that window of any rain. Very light if we were to see much in the way of any rain showers at all, very scattered to isolated in nature. Anything that we do see would likely be very light with any of that rain that we would get, and several locations, if not all of us in the state line, likely will remain underneath 1/10 of an inch for any of that potential rain. Now on to those winds. And I think this has the potential to be the most impactful of the three things that cold front would bring us, as winds could push 30 to even 35 miles per hour. Starting as we head beyond 10 or 11 o'clock tonight, just ahead of that frontal passage, those winds will be out of the southwest, drawing into the strong low pressure system up to the north, where those wind gusts will be pushing 30 or 35 miles per hour. They could continue around that mark through parts of the overnight hours. Generally, wind gusts will fall off a little bit down to the south as we head towards sunrise tomorrow morning, but even into the afternoon, our winds could still push close to 25 or even 30 miles per hour going into the daytime hours of tomorrow. But the direction of that wind flips around to come mostly out of the northwest, which will help to keep things feel a little bit on the cooler side. We'll only drop down to 52 for the overnight low tonight. Scattered showers and a little bit windy at times. Those winds out of the southwest and then out of the west, gusting near 35 miles per hour. We'll see those wind gusts around 35 miles per hour during the early part of the day tomorrow. Therefore, only 64 degrees for that afternoon high temperature, though we will get a little bit more sunshine as we head toward the later part of the day. But the next few overnights, starting with tomorrow night, will once again be chilly. We dropped all the way to 42 this morning in Rockford, and will likely be pretty close to that over the next few nights. Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night forecast low temperatures of 44 degrees apiece. That's a little bit closer to average for early October, not necessarily early September. But our afternoon high temperatures will also be below average, sitting in the 60s. 64 degrees for Friday, 66 on Saturday. We'll eventually climb back to the low 70s as we head into Monday, even pushing near that 80-degree mark once again. Tuesday into Wednesday, that also does bring us our next chances for a few scattered showers.
Thank you, Jordan.
Drew's in next with sports.
The NFL season opener finally here. He'll preview the Cowboys and the Eagles ahead of their game tonight.
Now sports with Drew Collins.
It has been 207 days since the Eagles crushed the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Today marks the day the NFL returns. All eyes will be in Philadelphia, where the Eagles will host the Cowboys. The Eagles are over a touchdown favorite to win this game. After winning the Super Bowl, the Eagles are back and possibly even better. But on the other hand, I'm not sure you can say the same for the Cowboys. They are healthy and have added George Pickens to the offense, but everyone will be keeping an eye on the Cowboys defense now that they are without Micah Parsons. Kickoff is set for 7:20. I think if there was one word Bears fans would like to see this season, it would be the word growth. Well, Bears head coach Ben Johnson agrees, especially when it comes to Caleb Williams entering his sophomore season. But hey, no pressure, only the first Monday night primetime game of the entire year at Soldier Field.
We're going to grow together. This offense is going to grow together with him, and there'll be some bumpy steps along the way, but that's okay. That's the nature of doing it. But I feel really good about where he's at right now.
Packers fans aren't the only ones excited for the debut of Micah Parsons in a Packers uniform. Jordan Love took to the microphone about his excitement to be able to watch Parsons on the defense. He even went as far to say he's okay with Micah and the defense getting introduced last before taking the field against the Lions.
They gotta do defense. They gotta do defense. Micah last, you know what I mean? The crowd's gonna go crazy. I already see it. Defense go out there first, get a 3 and out, Micah get a sack on 3rd down. I already see it.
And there's a whole lot of high school football coming your way tomorrow. Scott and I will have the highlights on Overtime on Fox 39. I will be live at the game of the week over at Byron. The Tigers will host the Dixon Dukes. Overtime should begin at 10:30 or shortly after that. The Cubs are off today before they host the Nationals tomorrow. The White Sox are in the Twin Cities facing the Twins. First pitch is in just a few minutes. The Sox are on a 4-game win streak. We'll see if they can make it 5 tonight. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Fort Wayne, Indiana is now home to the world's tallest sunflower.
The man behind it, Alex Babbage, has grown record-breaking sunflowers before. Guinness confirmed this week that his flower, named Clover, beat the world record. The official measurement was 35 feet 9 inches. The previous world record was 30 feet 1 inch, set by a grower in Germany 11 years ago.
I'm going to pass this recipe down to my kids, and my kids will pass it on to theirs. So it's something that we'll pass on. It's our legacy, and we'll spread the love. And I want to encourage everybody to grow sunflowers. They're really easy to grow. So just, if everybody would grow sunflowers and smile, the world would be a better place, happier place.
He says he named the sunflower Clover after his son kept finding 4-leaf clovers in their yard.
There's a recipe to it, apparently?
Apparently.
Okay.
4-leaf clover is the good luck. They must have had something going
There
there.
you go.
Something in the
Very
soil.
Nice. Yeah, and some sunshine, which was nice. We got a little bit more today.
Right, yeah. It didn't really help us in their temperature department. It still felt a lot more like October than early September, and that's kind of a trend that we'll have over these next few days, especially with our overnight lows dipping down into the 40s. We've made it down to 42 this morning in Rockford.
Wait a minute. Space heater last
certainly
this
a little
morning. It was cold.
It was certainly a little on the chilly side, and we'll have a couple more of those nights. But tonight, not quite as cool with an increasing cloud cover. That's not really showing up too well with our first warn interactive radar from Rockford Glastonbury just yet. But our cold front starting to slide through the area overnight will bring us around to some gusty winds, some scattered showers right around midnight, along with the next few cool overnights. Only the mid-60s again tomorrow for highs, overnight lows in the 40s for a few days.
Thank you, Jordan.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.